not my house. Ed woke up in a room that felt alien, a room with crimson red paint, the smell of lavender coming from the window behind, and a large portrait of himself with people. Strange, alien, unknown people. The side table littered with pills and a glass of water, filled to the brim. This wasn't the room that he had woken up in all his life. He pressed at his forehead and tried his hardest to recollect any memory that felt familiar to this place, and he found none. He splashed cold water on his face and descended downstairs towards the kitchen. Muffled voices of chatter, clunking of cutlery. Who were these people in his house? In the kitchen, a strange sight welcomed him. A woman, short, brunette, possibly in her 30s, looking at him as if he was an expected guest at the table. On the other side sat two little girls, their faces eerily symmetrical, giggling and grinning at him. Their movements seemed mechanical and rehearsed, sipping tea and biting into the sandwiches, chewing food as if it were a bowl of concrete. Everything had slowed down. It all seemed to be a blur, a dream that he was stuck in. The sharp sound in his ears paused as the woman looked up to him with a smile that did not reach his eyes. "Morning," she said. "Get out," screamed Ed, his voice startling her, harsh and unyielding. "Leave my house before I make you." The woman froze mid-bite. The girl's eyes shot wide open. "It's me, Han. It's us. You're confused. It's happening again." Ed's head started throbbing. He knew this was not real. They were not real, and yet he knew it was. He had no memory. All he knew was that something was hiding behind those familiar masks, pretending to be human. The woman's watch ticked as she hurriedly got up and grabbed her purse. She murmured about being late to work and taking the girls to school. She approached Ed and gently put her hand on his arm. "You take the day off and rest, okay?" And before Ed could say anything, she was off with the girls. The car's tires screeched away from the driveway, leaving Ed in a house that breezed around him, shifting, mocking. He wandered from room to room, scanning every photograph that hung on the walls. Wedding portraits, vacations, school photos that he did not remember. Every corner whispered, every shadow shifted. He pressed his hands onto his head, covering his ears to stop the voices. Voices that confirmed his suspicion. They were not human. Skinwalkers, aliens, anything put human, pretending to be his wife and daughters that he never had. The house had never belonged to him, and neither did they. The plan formed in his mind. They had hidden behind flesh and blood, and tonight he would uncover the truth by ending them. Night fell, heavy and silent. Ed moved through the house, floorboards creaking underneath his careful steps. He entered the girls' room and watched them sleep. Their chest fell and rose, the deceptive innocence hiding evil beneath. He climbed onto the bed, his hands moving, scattering until they found her throat. He tightened his grip and applied steady pressure. The little girl twitched in her bed until she stopped moving and the body went cold. One body went limp, then the other. He moved to the woman's room. His fingers dug into her neck. She fought back helplessly until the body slackened. He paused, took in a deep breath, savoring the silence, until a voice broke through the quiet. "Help, please, my dad is." One of the girls remained alive, the younger one perhaps. Her small hands clutched to the telephone, her voice shaking and her hands trembling. He darted through the hallway, shouting profusely, and struck her with his fist. She fell down onto the floor, her head hitting the edge of the table, breaking her skull. He continued to bludgeon her with his fists until the body stopped twitching and eyes bulged out from the sockets, leaving behind a steaming, splattered slop. As he started to get exhausted from pounding at her skull, a thought struck his mind. He had to know what hid behind that flesh. He went downstairs and retrieved a kitchen knife and started to peel her flesh away. The first cut was slow, revealing the beautiful, lustrous yellow fat. He dug in deeper, the muscle striations glistening in front of his eyes. An involuntary laughter rolled through him, echoing through the house as he continued to rip her apart. He cut through every part, her jaw, her collarbone, her chest, her abdomen, and continued to dig the knife into her crotch, ripping the skin, carving and twisting. The floor stained with blood, and through it he laughed. Outside, the sirens wailed closer and closer, but inside, the only sound he could hear was his manic laughter and the knife cutting through flesh like silk. And as the layers of flesh peeled away, he would discover what truly hid beneath the masks, and the laughter would never end.